Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest trapping video. Today we'll be showcasing some clips from the community. So today's clip was sent in by UHB Pundo. So he's gonna be doing some rally trapping on his 1.4 billion mite account. You're probably thinking to yourself, hey Duck, a 1.4 billion mite account is not a rally trap. And I agree, it doesn't mean you cannot rally trap on it. It might not be a rally trap, but you can rally trap on it, if that makes sense. Because basically what rally trapping is baiting rallies and then capping them. And that's what he'll be doing today. I think he gets like 8 rallies. So keep in mind, if you're this big, all you literally gotta do is sit there in non-war gear, don't run an anti, and people will hit you nowadays. It's pretty easy. So the target that he got first was YHB. They will be coming in with a rally. I believe he was baiting in calves, so that's why he's switching over to range, just in case they send what's called a range rally. Most likely they would be sending a range rally for that. So again, the other option is go into infantry for this bait, but sometimes people will send cav because they think you're going to do that and do the bamboozle and all that. So honestly, it's just safer to go to range at that point, because most likely people aren't going to send infantry, but they still might. So keep that in mind. You never really know, but it's just rolling the dice, and hopefully you actually bait them in the right thing anyways. So the rally's coming in a couple seconds here. So if you are a rally trap, make sure you are in your talents, make sure you're in their formation. They are sending range, pretty obvious. So just gonna pop over to infantry. He's also just gonna throw the war gear on last second, just so hopefully they don't see the swap. If you do it last second, it's the best way, especially if they're not carpeting. And I believe they weren't gonna carpet because they obviously thought he was offline, because they did go for the counter on his cav frontline and they didn't try to bamboozle, so the chances of them carpeting are much lower if they fall for the trap, which they did. Was an easy take, was able to swap the gear. Unfortunately, he forgot to finish the crafting on one of his pieces, so technically he took that rally with one less accessory, so he was down on some stats there. So again, if you're trapping, just go through all your checklists. Make sure you haven't sheltered your leader for whatever reason. Make sure your wall is okay. Make sure your familiars are set up properly. Make sure you're in your talents. Make sure your gear is there, and you don't swap to your monster hunting gear when you actually hit your gear swap. That has happened in that I showcased that video what happened there. What the person who was running the 11k hero trap at the time, again, if you missed that. Anyways, let's get into the other rallies. So this is going to be a range rally. There is an 11k hero in this one. This guy was a little bit stronger. Taking a look at this rally, was able to actually cap it, but took quite a bit of damage. The reason why he did not swap was so he could get a follow-up rally. So sometimes this is what you got to do as a person faking offline. If you want more than one rally, a lot of times you gotta let them hit you hard and actually counter you, because if obviously you counter them, they're like, oh, he's online, let's not rally him again. And this one, he didn't actually pop the bunny, so he let him full counter him, no bunny, so now he has one of their leaders, and again, they would think he's offline at this point, so especially since he let them full counter him. So this is kind of a baiting tactic nowadays because of the Sanctuary update, where you get 60 to 80% of your troops back. Sometimes you just let them hit you hard, and then you get some follow-up rallies, and you get to cap the follow-up rallies, because sometimes they won't even, maybe they will pop the bunny, sometimes they won't. But again, you get more rallies. You get more rallies than you would have if you counter them on the first one. That's kind of how it is, especially if you swap your gear, because again, the second rally lead is actually much weaker than the first one, it looks like. So Shanghai here, not a bad rally lead by any stretch of the imagination, still full mythic, but not quite as good as Brazil here, with way more artifact stars, way more castle stars, and more and better gear pretty much. So he's going to be getting rallied by this guy again. It will be obviously easier excuse me, will be easier to cap him because he is much weaker. So just the rally's going to come in a couple seconds here. Going to check and see what's coming in. As long as they don't carpet, should be pretty easy to counter, honestly, because he is quite far away. So just a couple seconds. Again, sometimes they have a timer on here, and this can mess you up. So again, it's a cav rally. Just gonna swap to range. Don't go range wedge. Go range. Anyways, just go range. Just go foul if you actually get the counter off. It actually does work better. But he was thinking of actually swapping out his familiars too. But like, honestly, against this rally lead, it's not that necessary because he's obviously not as strong. So again, you can see he didn't even have an anti on there the whole time. So they could see that he was full countered on the first rally because those troops would be in his infirmaries. And then he was able to cap a second rally here as well because he decided not to counter the first one and throw in his war gear. So you can see the second one, only 1.1 million, only 500k reds. And then, yeah, you can see, boof. Yeah, and again, there was a Huey Hops on that one, so that guy got his leader back, but he still has the other leader, and obviously they know he's online now because he did swap to his war gear, did counter and all that, so obviously they will be going in for another rally here. So, but they will know he's online. So technically, he does not have to sit here anymore. They have his scout. They know he doesn't have a very big comp or anything like that. So the chances of them to keep rallying you is very high, even if you port away at this point. So a lot of times it is smarter to actually port somewhere once you've capped a leader, and you're pretty sure they'll keep rallying you because they see that you have a tiny comp and they have a chance to actually get a walk back from that. So again, just getting ready for the rally. Once the rally comes in, again, you can also put your war gear on at this point too. Keep in mind, if you're in this situation, don't be hiding your war gear. You don't need to. It's just one extra thing you got to worry about. They're going to be rallying you. They've already seen your war gear. It's fine. Put your war gear on. It's totally okay. As long as you're not trying to hide it from the rest of the kingdom, just throw your war gear on now. You'll be good, especially if you're 1.4 bill, because honestly, they expect you to have good war gear at 1.4 bill. If you're like a 400 mil rally trap with full mythic champ, maybe don't put your war gear on early, but in this situation, go ahead, because they will be trying the carpet. It's an infantry rally, gonna have to swap the cav. Cav or cav wedge is pretty... It's pretty much the same at that point. If you're countering cav wedge, it does throw your infantry further up, but it puts you in a less optimal position for your cav. So it's much better, obviously, in multiple rallies, cav wedge. Single rallies, it's debatable which is better, cav or cav wedge at that point. But anyways, I usually go cav wedge. So anyways, so 622k reds. This guy was much stronger than the previous rally lead, but was still able to cap it pretty easily. Not a crazy high amount of tier 5 in there, and they did pop the bunny on that one as well. So still have one of their leaders, but obviously did not get any more, and I think this is where they actually stop at this point as well. So I'm gonna have to throw the emote on them, obviously, after those nice baits. So again, anyway, so great job to these. Again, there's going to be another rally party in this video as well. So I think the next one is actually going to be a not well-timed triple. So that's what's going on. They have tested his front line here. You can see here with their tests, breaking the wall on that one, and then they did the test to find out what formation he was in. Actually, the wall's still up, so the tests are not going to give them any information. So, unfortunately for them, there you go. There's the wall going down. But, yeah, I don't know. They didn't actually test after that. So, anyways, I don't think it really matters because they're doing a triple anyways at this point. I think it was a triple on this one. Yeah, it's a triple on this one. You can see it's not timed, and they also didn't have timers in these rallies either. Keep that in mind. They just decided to go in for a triple, no time, so obviously they must think he's offline if they're going to be doing this, because if you think someone's online, you usually throw in that timer there. So his plan for this one is going to let them counter on the first one so they don't cancel the next two, then try and cap the next two. So this one's going to be coming in. It is a cav rally, so he's going to let this one actually hit him. He's not going to swap his gear or change that, so if you're wondering why he's not doing anything, it's not because he already has the counter off. It's because he's letting the first rally hit him because it's not a well-timed rally, and if he counters that rally, they'll cancel the next two rallies as well. You can see it was another 7 or about a 5 million damage rally. It's pretty normal, so actually it's honestly not that bad, honestly, because I took way more of that in my war gear. So take a look and see what the next rally is going to be. So again, he's going to wait to both rallies start walking before he does anything because he wants to cap all 3 of them. You might take more damage this way, but it's the way to actually cap more rallies than you would have. So, yeah, so he's basically going to just pull the Sanctuary out, basically last second, let the rallies walk, pull the Sanctuary out so he actually has some room in there, and then try to counter the rallies if possible. There is a little bit of a mess up here, I think, on his part. Well, I'll go through it once it happens, but you'll see in the end what happens. So again, he can pull at about 700k troops here, so he's going to do that as well. So if you ever have this, it's also a great way just to add some extra troops, make some room in your Sanctuary if you need it, because again, you'll be getting some of these troops back into the Sanctuary. So Coalition is speeding up. He's just going to actually pop it kind of last second here. Again, they weren't really carpeting super hard in this rally either, so it does end up being a pretty easy rally to take. So let's take a look and see what's coming in. I believe it's a Cav rally first. So anyways, yeah, we're just waiting here. Where's more rallies? Here it goes. So there's one more, actually, I messed up on this, but yeah, there's 2 rallies coming in here, 1 second. And then he's going to try and counter these rallies if possible. This one's a Cav rally, I believe. So yeah, Cav rally right here. So he does go to range, and then he was planning on throwing his war gear on for this, but I think he thought they were carpeting harder than they were. So he actually goes back to infantry before the Cav rally hits, and you can see the Cav rally is still walking here. He should really go to range at this point to counter that rally, but instead he goes to range for the second rally. So I think he just maybe misread that one and thought for whatever reason the Cav was second, because he basically didn't counter either of the rallies at that point. So I've done the exact same thing. I've looked at the Watchtower before, totally saw the wrong thing, countered the wrong rally, and then thought I was countering the second one, and totally messed up. Actually, I haven't posted that video, so I basically did the same thing where I looked at the thing, for whatever reason, my mind, actually, that was a really strong rally lead there, by the way. That was a Paladin, I guess. Again, he was really, really high on stars. But again, I did the exact same thing. I basically thought something was coming in. I thought I countered it, swapped to the thing to counter the other one, but I was actually got them mixed up and countered myself twice. So again, I think the same thing happened here. So again, he swapped to range to counter the range rally, and he swapped infantry to counter the Cav rally. It was actually the other way around, and it does happen, honestly. When you're in the middle of trapping, sometimes you just get a little thing just messed up between them, and again, it didn't matter in the end. He kept them both, but took a little bit extra damage than obviously he would if he did it the other way around. And again, I think he might have thought they carpeted it in already, and he totally forgot the other rallies walking. So anyways, so again, great job. We'll go through the reports. You can see all the rallies that happened. This one did a little bit of damage to his tier 4 infantry, so that was the mess up there that he had. So ended up taking a little more damage than he probably could have, just because he kind of messed it up in his mind, I think, between the 2 rallies. So that's 3.2 on that one. So I can think this one was just mostly tier 2, unlike the previous one. Yeah, just 3.2. Again, he will be getting 60 to 80% of those troops back, so not the worst thing. Was able to cap the rallies. Anyways, so shout out to Pundo for sending in the clips. If you guys have any clips you want to submit to me, just add me online, Predatorxvx. It is in the description down below. Just send me a message, hey, I want to submit a clip for your video, and I'll try to get you in. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.